So in features of React.js, what are the key features? The first important feature, it is component based. How component based is advantage, I explained one point. Second, it uses virtual DOM, document object model. Here I explained three concepts. So one is what is DOM, what is a shadow DOM, and what is virtual DOM. I hope you remembered this. So DOM generally you will learn in basic of HTML itself, what is DOM. Shadow DOM and virtual DOM, in the last session I explained the process, right? So what is DOM? DOM is hierarchy of elements. I explained browser engine. I explained browser parsing. I uploaded one PowerPoint presentation where all those browser architecture is there. You can go through that presentation in the classroom, okay? Because React developer at experience level, they need to know the architecture behind this. How browser works, what is DOM, what is shadow DOM, and what is virtual DOM. So what is shadow DOM? Shadow DOM is every component is having a hierarchical order. So that is considered as shadow DOM. Virtual DOM is a copy of DOM. So this makes React.js, so it is faster, right? It makes React.js faster. So because of virtual DOM, it is faster. Now, three basic features: component based, virtual DOM, and faster. Another important advantage, it is modular. It is modular. Another one of the key feature about React.js is it is modular. What is meant by modular? Actually, modular is nothing but it uses only the library that is required for application. Very important. It is not legacy. Actually, in software technologies, if you have awareness on any libraries, generally libraries, we have legacy and modular. These days, all technologies are becoming modular. Earlier, majority all technologies are legacy type. Even technologies like Java, .NET, these are all legacy type. Now they are becoming modular. So majority of all technologies are now becoming modular. What is legacy? What is modular? I will explain a simple point here. For example, I hope you have an awareness on using some libraries. Like suppose you are a web developer, you know the libraries like Bootstrap. We can use a Bootstrap library for creating good interfaces. I hope you people know that Bootstrap have lot of effects for buttons, for forms, for accordion, like carousels, like nav bars, so like pagination. So many are there, like drop downs, so many are there. I hope you people know that. For that, actually, it provides one file. We have a file called bootstrap.css. This bootstrap.css is having all the logic that is required for buttons, forms, accordion, and all. Now I am designing a web page. So we are creating a web page. In this page, I am designing a simple drop down. I am creating a simple drop down, and I want this drop down to use the effects of Bootstrap. If I want this drop down to use the effects of Bootstrap, generally what you have to do is you need to link this file. You have to link this file to page. Am I right? I hope everybody knows that, right? In order to use the CSS, you have to link that CSS. Now, my question is, to just use drop down, why you are linking a file which have all other content also? Is it not heavy for application? Why you are linking a file with thousands of code where you are using only one part of it? This is legacy. All libraries are legacy type. If you have learned any Java, .NET like technologies, you will know that they are also legacy type. Now they are changing the library into modular. From recent versions, they made their libraries modular from very latest versions like .NET from ASP.NET 4.5, like Java 8 version onwards. They made the libraries modular. Earlier, all are legacy type. Even to handle a small operation, you need to put a lengthy library that is very heavy on application. Now, what is the specialty of being modular? It will load only the library that is required for that situation. That means at that situation, what it is using, only that library will be loaded. This makes applications more lightweight. That means applications can perform better. That means you can say application specific library. That means this makes application lightweight. That means it is very less space occupied. That means it can operate on less memory. That means lightweight means obviously it uses less memory. It is not tedious. It is not complex. So that is of being modular. So one of the main advantages of React is modular. So it uses virtual DOM. It is component based. It is modular. I hope you are clear. Modular means opposite of modular is what? Legacy. So legacy means complete library is used to handle a small interaction, but only application specific library. What is needed for that situation, it can be used. That is modular approach, right? Another key feature is it uses built-in async methods. It uses built-in asynchronous methods. Having built-in asynchronous methods, that means actually we can say it is implicitly asynchronous. Implicitly asynchronous. Actually, we need to make anything asynchronous. We need to design anything asynchronous. But React advantage is it has a lot of things internally asynchronous. What is the meaning of asynchronous? This also improves the performance of application. What is the meaning of asynchronous? Best example I will tell you. For example, best example of React app is, suppose you are using WhatsApp. WhatsApp is designed with React. It is designed with React. And Facebook is React. All these are React. So in Facebook or WhatsApp, you are offline. When you are offline, some of your friend sent you some message. That means at 7:30 p.m. he sent a video. And at 7:45 p.m. he sent a picture, text. And at 7:50 p.m. he sent some picture, some messages he sent. Now you are offline and you suddenly came online after few minutes, right? When you are online, which message will be visible to you? Which message will be sent to you? The messages are sent in the same order how he sent it. They will come in the same order how he sent. That means first video, then text, then picture. But the point is, you can see text immediately. Picture is still loading. Video is still loading. Am I right? Is it like first video is finished loading, then text is coming? No. All are at a time triggered to you. And which one you can see first? That depends on which one is lightweight. This is asynchronous. That is asynchronous. That means earlier to design such asynchronous, you need a lot of logic manually to write. Now Angular, React, Vue, these all technologies are internally implementing them. They are implementing all their library asynchronous. That makes developers work more easy because developer explicitly no need to write much asynchronous. They have to write, but not much required because already lot of asynchronous. Implicitly, it uses asynchronous methods. So whatever the methods you are using for React, they are asynchronous inbuilt. What is advantage of that? Improves the performance of application. Earlier, we need to do that manually. Now it is this. These are the major technical features. So it is component based. It is using virtual DOM. It is faster. It is modular, and it is using implicit async. Later, lot of technical features you can understand while comparing with other concepts. For that, you need to first learn the concept, then you can handle that, right? As of now, these features are enough. Generally, see, we don't discuss about any general features actually. Why general features? Because you are watching a YouTube channel or you are watching some websites, right? In those websites, YouTube channels, when you look at React features, means advantages, now they will tell that React is easy to learn. Are you serious? Right? Is it a feature of a technology? Right? That means you are a developer. Come on, right? For you, easy to learn is a feature. That means the point here, we don't generally consider them as features, right? In almost every React tutorial, you will see this. In React features, one point, React is easy to learn. What you are saying, right? For a developer, a little bit hard means I will not use it. Right? That is not a feature. That is not a feature. Right? That is just a compliment that, okay, this is looks simple when compared to others. Right? That is not we technically consider as feature. Right? For us, features means how it is architecturally sound when compared to others. These are important. So component based, virtual DOM, faster, modular, and asynchronous. These are the key features. React have some drawbacks. That means we have some issues. Issues with React. What are the issues with React? What are the drawbacks? Means drawbacks, issues, we will say issues with React. Because generally, why developers are not every time satisfied with React? Of course, every technology we are not satisfied in every aspect, right? Because they have their own issues. They have their own issues. What are the issues with React? First important is you have to know as a developer, React is not developed for what you are using. React is not developed for what you are using. So then the one of the main problem, lot of gaps. Remember, React, JS, Angular, these technologies are not developed for us, but we are using them. They are not developed for us, but we are using them. Now the point here is, for example, just the point is, suppose you are purchasing some brand shoes, like you are purchasing Nike, Adidas, and all these shoes. Do you know 99% of all those shoes are meant for gym, running? Am I right? They are all related to sports, right? And very few are casual, but you are wearing them as casual, right? 99% Nike, Adidas, all these they are not meant for casual actually. They are not meant for casual. You may be purchasing a sports shoe and you are using for casuals. That means, are you using for what purpose it is developed? No. You are not using for what purpose it is developed. You are just using for your convenience, right? For your convenience, you are using them. In that case, lot of issues will be there. That means I will tell you what are the issues. Actually, React, Angular, and all these technologies are internally used by Facebook and Google. For example, I will show you. Suppose you see there is Facebook community, developers.facebook.com. This is developers Facebook community, Meta for developers. Do you have any awareness of this? What happens here? Any idea? No. So this is Facebook developers community. Actually, what you can do is here, Facebook says that same like Google also have a developers community. Facebook says that you build apps and give to us, right? And we will promote your apps. So we will give it to public. They can use these apps. Now the point is, you will ask a question like, okay, I will create an app and give it to you, and you will promote these apps, and you see on Facebook, when you are using Facebook, a lot of app recommendations come. Are all these apps designed by Facebook? They're all not designed by Facebook. They are all developed by some developers like you. You can develop a good app and you can give it to Facebook App Store. The Facebook App Store, if likes your app, then they will promote your app. You can even monetize with that. That means you get money from the apps. Now the question here is, developers' doubt is, which technology I should use to develop an app? Which technology I should use to build an app? Then if we ask this question to Facebook people, that what technology I should use, then Facebook says that, the community says that you use whatever technology you know. That means you are a Java developer, use your Java. You are a .NET developer, use your .NET. You develop apps with whatever technology you know and give it to us. We will take care about it. Then our developers started building apps for Google and Facebook like communities and contributing to them. But we as developer, we saw Facebook and Google's their own apps. They have their own apps. And we have one doubt, like what you are using. So what you as a Facebook using for developing your apps, because your apps looks more better on Facebook when compared to the app we developed. Then these communities said that we have our own libraries, we are using them. And developers question, what is that library? What is that framework you are using? Then they say that we have a library called Angular. We have a library called React. So that means React and Angular like concepts are there before the world knows about them. They are already being used by Facebook and Google internally. That means world came to know about React and Angular just because of the modern web. Actually, because of modern web and these kind of communities from maximum 2014 onwards. 2014 onwards, our developers start exploring these and got interest in this, and they want these to use for their apps. Then they made it open source so that anybody can implement and use it, right? Before you know about these, already these are there. That means React and Angular are not inventions. They are discovery by developers. I hope you know the difference between invention and a discovery. That means already it is there, but we came to know about them. We started using them later. So React is such technology. React is a technology which is already there before world knows about React. Just like you know, we are expecting as a future generation language. Do you know, can you name any future generation language which is expected to be trending in future? Any idea of that? Do you have idea on any future generation language which may be trending in future? So we have a language called Go. And this is officially by, Go is officially by Google. It is officially by Google. After a few years, you may see people using this language very much when compared to the language like C and Python like concepts. You may be seeing this, maybe, we are not sure, maybe. And at that time, you cannot think like this Go language is a new invention. It is already there with Google. Google uses this for its artificial intelligence. So Go language is very popular. Suppose Go language. This is the Go language. This is the programming language Go. This is the programming language. This is Go language. Yeah, official is there. Yeah. This is Go programming language. This is the Go programming language. And this is officially by Google. This is officially by Google. You may not know this, but actually our Naresh IT have a contract, means we are affiliated to NASSCOM, Indian government technical, right? NASSCOM. We are affiliated to NASSCOM and we are partners of NASSCOM. That means we give training for NASSCOM affiliated universities, and we have IIT trainings also, IITs also. Recently, we got a requirement from certain IIT in Chennai and in Hyderabad also, IITs, not triple ITs, it is IITs. The contract means the training requirement contract is to train them on Go language. Now, IIT people, IITians are thinking about this language. That means that's not simple. That means something may be there behind this. Something may be happening behind this. That means there might be some more thing to know about it. That means, you know, IITian people usually just don't jump into any technology, right? They don't jump into technology. They are future of our countries, right? So they know what can happen in future. That means they may have certain calculations. And certain IITs are recommending for learning this language as a language. They are asking to train people on this language. That means there may be something happening for that. The point here is several technologies, libraries are there like that, which you may not know, but later they may become popular. They are already internally there. So React is not a new concept. It is already there. What our developers are doing, they started using React for building their applications. If they are starting using React for building their applications, whatever they need, it is not provided by React. That means obviously lot of gaps will be there. So now what we have to do is how to fill these gaps. So we have to fill the gap by using third-party library. For example, just point I will tell you. Suppose you got a contract from a particular supermarket, and the contract is to build an app for supermarket to manage their business. Now the question, which technology you will use to develop an app for them? Java, .NET, PHP, Python. Which technology you will use to build an app for a supermarket? Which technology you will use for build an app for a hospital or a hotel? Do you know how a software company selects a technology? How a software company selects a technology for building an app? Actually, for that, in order to confirm which technology, actually, we build one simple table. We create a table. We have a table like as is. We have to be. And we have gap. This is the table that we prepare. Generally, as a software developer, first, in order to decide which technology to use, so we have to prepare a table, as is, to be, and gap. As is means what your technology is capable of. What your technology is capable of. To be means what client wants. And gap means what is not there in your technology, which client wants. That is called gap. So whenever we have to build one application, first we prepare this table. Means in any software company, this is common. We first prepare this table, as is, to be, and gap. As is means what the technology is capable of, and to be means what client wants. Whatever client wants, is this technology fulfill everything? Any technology in the world is not 100%. It cannot fulfill all the requirements of a client. There is no chance, nothing, right? Then what happens is, for example, Java. This Java is having some 5% gaps. We have .NET. It is having some 10% gaps. We have PHP. It is having 2% gaps, right? Then what we do is we prefer using PHP to build an app. Why we prefer PHP for building an app? Because 98%, whatever its requirements are there, it is satisfying. Then how about the 2%? That means, for example, it is simple. Point is very simple. Suppose we have the example like supermarket. Suppose you learned Java or .NET or some technology. Suppose anyone asks you, like, can you write a program to generate barcode in your Java or in your .NET? Can you write a program to create barcode? Can you write a program to read barcode? If you can't write, then how you will build an app for a supermarket? You ask that Java developer, then he will say that we don't have any such library in Java. Then how you will build an app for that? Then they will say that we will take help of third party. That means we need to depend on third party. Some third party people provide that library. We have to download, we have to install and use it. For example, suppose you want to show any person's location on a map, any person location on a map. Do you have your own satellite? Then how? We will take off some people who already have. Like, I want a weather forecast to display in my website. Do I have my own satellite which will get me weather forecast? I don't have. Then how you will get weather forecast? That means some people will provide that, are doing that already. So from them, we will integrate a library into it and use it. We call these as APIs. We call them as APIs. Now, React applications, one of the main problem is it has to use lot of third parties. Lot of third party libraries are required. That means developers are not satisfied with what React can do internally. Then developers take help of lot of third parties and plugin. That means you have to depend on lot of third parties. For example, I will tell you a simple example. Suppose I want to communicate with API. Now, to communicate with API, we need some methods. In JavaScript, we use fetch. In jQuery, we use jQuery Ajax, right? So in React, we don't have. Then how you will work with API? I have to depend on, again, jQuery Ajax, or I have to depend on fetch, or I have to do by using a third party. Some third party like Axios, which is very popular in working with APIs. I have to use that library. Suppose I want to design a form with validations. Again, I need support of third party. That means every simple complex operation requires a lot of third party integrations. Can't we do individually with React? You can do, but that becomes a lengthy process. To simplify that, we have to depend on third party. But one of the advantage for us is, actually you can easily plug in. You can easily plug in any third party. That means there will be no complexity. So you can easily plug in any third party. It will simply integrate and work. Because generally plugins, any third party may have a lot of issues, but React is very good in that. That means it supports a lot of third parties so that you can easily plug in and you can use. But you have to depend on a lot of third parties. This is where React developers are not very much satisfied, because directly React is not having its features. So that means for every purpose we say third party. I want a form, third party. I want validation in form, third party. I want some API communication, third party. So React provides certain features which are not enough. We need to depend on a lot of third parties. That is one of the major options. Another point, these are major issues. Another important point here is, so the pace of development and poor documentation. This is a concern for developer, compulsory concern. Easy to learn is not a good concept. Then that's not developer point, but this is a concern. Why this is a concern? Pace of development means by the time you finish learning React, 2 more minor versions are ready. That means every year you will get 3-4 versions of React. That means actually React first appeared into general developers environment in 2014. Now from 2014 to 2022-23, 18 versions. This is too much. That means every year you are going on releasing so many versions. And one of the main problem, developer can't catch the pace. Can't catch the pace. That is the reason. Even you are using, currently you are learning latest 18 version, but companies are still using very old versions. Companies are not using the version 18, and 18 and other versions, lot of changes are there. Now developer have to adapt to the new changes. He need to keep updated. Poor documentation, because any documentation is not complete. Means so that developer can go and get a help. There is no one place from where he can get complete help about what is happening in React. There are options, but lot of issues are there. Documentation, because very frequently you release one version. Who will prepare the documentation for that? Deprecation issues are there. That means what features are removed, what features are changed. Developer don't have a correct idea on them. That is not good. That's not good. That means if you don't have a log of what are deprecated and what are newly added, then developers are very much confused. That means to just learn what newly added, what are removed, how the changes made, they have to explore complete technology. They need to know from the base of development of that version. This is very complicated for developers. So this is one challenging for developers. These are all the concerns about React. But these are not major issues for any developer, because see, once you say I am a developer, right? Then you are lifelong learner. A software developer's life never ends with one concept. That means you cannot say that, okay, this is final, I will retire with this. You can't. That means every few days, new features will come, every new versions will come. You keep on updating, you keep on exploring. You need to know by yourself, right? These are all some issues with React, very concerned issues these are. Because I will show you while practically working in different versions, where the documentations will be, how to explore the documents, I will explain. We will discuss about that. Because later, any new version comes, you have to explore by yourself, right? That means next version, some 19 comes, then you have to know what changes they made, where to know, how to explore, everything we will discuss. We will see that, okay? But these are very much concerns about React. These are all major issues with React, right? So this is one of the main concern of React.js and features, the advantages and features of React. Now, how this React works, we will see practically. That means how the React works. Actually, one more important thing you should know is, which I will practically show you now. Many times people ask, like, can I build an application? So with React and Angular combination. That means, can we build an application with React and Angular combination? Remember, React is a library. It can plug in into any framework. It can plug in into any framework. That means you can build an application with, means I will show you practically. React can be used independently. React can be used in any another web application. For building good interfaces, you can use React in existing web application. I will show you that practically. We will see. We can create separate React applications, or we can individually build React applications, and we can also use React in existing applications. We will see those process, how to do that. For that, first we need to understand, means how do we work with React, how it is configured and used. We will see how to set up environment for React. How do we set up environment for React? That means to start practically working on React, what is the environment setup? So we will see the first setup. I hope if you already done your web development, you learned some HTML, CSS, you have which editors you are using? Visual Studio Code, right? So actually for environment setup, what you do is, first you download and install Node.js on your PC. This is the first thing you have to do. You have to download and install Node.js on your PC. And very important is, especially if you are already a developer, make sure that Node.js is latest, because React is not supported an old version of Node.js. That means, so make sure that Node.js version is above 18x. This is 18x version. And make sure that Node.js gets a package manager called NPM. NPM version is, make sure that it is 8x, 8 and higher versions. Because Now React latest libraries cannot work on the old version of Node. So make sure that you update and you install this. You have to install Node.js first on your computer. Actually, we are using Node.js for a package manager called NPM. I hope you all people know what is a package manager. What is NPM? NPM is a package manager. And you people know what is a package manager? Package manager is nothing but package manager is a tool used for installing, updating, and removing libraries. That means if you want to install a library, you want to remove the libraries, you want to update the library, you need a package manager. There are so many package managers like NPM, like you have Yarn, you have like Bower, like we have NuGet. So many package managers are there. You can use any. You can use any package manager. So we are going to use the package manager called NPM. By installing Node.js on your computer, you will get a package manager called NPM. NPM is a package manager which we are going to use this package manager for building web applications and all, right? So all our React libraries we can get from this package manager. Okay, so you install this package manager. You can get the official link. I will give that link here. This is Node.js official website. In this Node.js official website, this is the long-term supported version. Currently, you use this one. This is for the people who want to upgrade from their 18 to others, right? As of now, you don't need this. This is enough for you. You can install this version. You just install this 18 version, and it is a simple 2 steps installation process. Just click next, it will install, right? There is nothing configuration or anything you have to do. I already installed on my PC. After you install Node.js, so this is the official website I will give you. After installing, you can open your command prompt and you can check whether Node.js is properly working or not by using npm version. And you can use node and version. V flag you can use. This is to check in your PC. So which version of Node.js is there? Make sure that if you are having any version less than 18, please update. Why? Because latest React and other libraries of React cannot work on old version. It is compulsory. And I hope you people know, if you are using any Windows operating system, if it is not possible on Windows up to 7, from you have to upgrade to 8 and higher versions only. It is not possible to run Node.js on Windows 7. No chance. So you have to upgrade to Windows 8 and higher versions. Okay. Now this is Node.js, and how to check. Open command prompt, and here we type node-v. This is Node.js version. And we have npm v. This is the package manager version. And make sure that Node.js is 18 and higher, and the package manager is 8 and higher. Current version is 9. That is okay, right? Now, once you have Node package manager, you have to download and install editor. So which editor we are using? Visual Studio Code editor. I hope everybody knows this editor, huh? Because your HTML, JavaScript, these days everybody, you can use lot of editors. Hundreds of editors are there. So this is official editor config. This is official editor. These are all editors. You can use any editor. These are all, several editors are there. You can use any editor you want. You can use any editor you want. So we will go with Visual Studio Code. If you ask why specifically Visual Studio Code, because we are going to build React applications with JavaScript and with TypeScript also. And TypeScript is a language of Microsoft, and Visual Studio Code belongs to Microsoft. So it can best complement for your future React apps. So that is the reason it is free, and it is licensed free. It have good plugins for all technologies. And this is the official people of TypeScript. So better we will go with them, so that they can provide a good help than anybody else. You can use any editor, doesn't matter, right? We are going to use this Visual Studio Code editor. You download and install this Visual Studio Code editor, right? And Visual Studio Code editor, this is Visual Studio Code editor. I will give the official link here. It is available for every operating system you can install. After installing Visual Studio Code editor, I hope you people if you worked with HTML and all, you might have tested your applications in live server. Make sure that you have a local server installed. Later, we will see how to do it on cloud servers also. But initially, make sure that open VS Code and install. You have a plugin called what? Live server. Install live server plugin. So install extension. You have to install the extension called live server. So what you do once you installed Visual Studio Code on your computer, open Visual Studio Code. This is Visual Studio Code. In this Visual Studio Code, let's close this here. Visual Studio Code usually looks like this. This is Visual Studio Code editor. You can go to extensions. This is extensions button. You can click on extensions and you can search for live server extension and you keep one live server. This is the live server extension. Why I am using this live server? Because actually React application comes internally with server, but we are learning React along with other applications. That means I will also show you how to use React in other applications. In that case, you need this live server. If you are independently building a React application, then automatically a server is present. It will be using that server. But now I am showing you first how to use React in various ways, in different ways, how React is used. I will show that. For that, you need your own live server here. Okay. So make sure that you added this live server plugin into your project, right? These are enough. So Node.js and Visual Studio Code with live server. These three are enough. Now we will see how React is used. First, what I am showing you, using React in an existing web application. How to use React in existing web application? We will see that first. How we can use React with existing web application, right? For that, first we need to create a simple web application. You know how to create web applications, a basic architecture of web applications. I hope you people know. Otherwise, you see that. First, what we will do is we will create a new folder for React project for web application. We will create a new folder for web application. So I will take any folder. So in my computer, I am going into here some D drive or E drive. And here I am creating a new folder. I will give the folder name web app. I am creating a folder called web app. This is a web app. Just an empty folder I created. Okay, I just created web app. That is the folder. Now, after that, open folder in Visual Studio Code. You open in Visual Studio Code. Let's open this in Visual Studio Code. We created an empty folder. Let's go to File, Open Folder. And in D drive, this is a web app. There is a web app. It's an empty folder. This is a simple empty folder. Now, how you can make it a professional web application? Basic, how you can make it as a professional web application. For that, very simple. What I will do is to make it as a professional web application. First, open terminal, go to terminal, it open command prompt here. In the command prompt, we will run a command npm init y. npm init y. I hope everybody knows this. Every project related metadata is present in a file called package.json. Package.json is the metadata file. That means what libraries you are using in project, which version library you are using in project, what dependencies, what is the license. So, and all such information is configured in package.json. Officially, every project web application contains a package.json which contains metadata. This command creates a package.json for project. That means you run npm init y. Then it is going to create a package.json file in your project. You can see it creates a package.json. Usually package.json is compulsory for our web applications. Later, at the end of React, I will show you how do you create all the configuration settings also. How do we write configurations, build an application environment, we will learn about that. As of now, every web developer knows that package.json contains metadata. And your project related information is present in package.json. And that package.json you have to open Visual Studio, then open terminal, and you have to run the command npm init and flag y. This is going to create, this will create a file, which file it generates package.json. It will generate package.json. Usually package.json contains all the metadata. It contains all the metadata. Okay. Now, after that, as per the project tradition, I will maintain one folder called public. You know, in web development, public is a folder which contains all static resources, right? That means your HTML, your text document, images, everything you can keep in public. There will be another folder, add a new folder SRC. It contains all dynamic resources. This is a very common tradition. Every real world application so comprises of static and dynamic resources. All static resources are kept in a folder called public. Dynamic resources are kept in SRC. Even in later stage, when you are developing a React app, the same environment you will see. But that environment we are manually creating here. We are manually creating that environment. So we are adding two folders into this now, right? That means add folders. So we have one is public, another one is SRC. And what is the purpose of these folders? Everybody knows. So it is for static resources. Static resources like HTML, images, documents, so and all these. And SRC for dynamic resources. It is for dynamic. Dynamic resources means like CSS, like SCSS, so like TS, like JS, all these are under dynamic resources. CSS, SCSS, JavaScript, TypeScript, all such things are kept in SRC. Okay, these are the folders you need to create. And you people know that application starts with index. So that means add startup page. Startup page. What is the startup page? Index.html. Index.html. Application starts with index.html. And usually index.html is kept outside. It is kept outside. But according to general final publishing, we need to keep in public. Right? While designing, I will keep index.html outside. And in this index.html, I'm just adding some HTML page. Now, actually, this is an ordinary web application. I want to use React here. Remember, it's not necessary that every page have to use React. You can design application in such a way that only one page is using React in it. Actually, React is used for building single page applications. Not only that, React is also used for making effective UI for traditional web application also. We can use React for building effective interfaces for traditional web applications. React is popular in building what kind of applications? Single page. But we can use React in traditional web application. Even one page can work with React. For example, I am not making this index page for React. What I am doing is, here I will put a heading. So welcome to React. So I'll say welcome to React some 18. Okay. And here I will put a paragraph. This page is not using React. This page is not using React. Okay. Then I will put an anchor. So home here. And here I will put href as in public. We will have home.html. We will add it. Now here, so React, this page is not using React. And here React is in home page. React is in home page. So in home page, I want to use React. So that means I will make the user to click on this. Then it will go to public. In public, we will add a new page. What is it? Home.html. Here, I want React to take control. Here, I want React to work. That means React should work here. So I want React to load and put some welcome message in some paragraph, or put some welcome message in a div, or put some welcome message in a heading. Your wish, you can put anything, any container, right? I want to put some welcome message here. But very important is React cannot work if JavaScript is disabled. Many times people ask this question. If JavaScript is disabled, can React work? So the first point is we don't know why you got this question at all. because any common sense says that there is no library of JavaScript that can work without JavaScript. That means it's mandatory that JavaScript must be enabled in browser to use any JavaScript based technology. So, but these days we have seen everywhere people asking this question. That means they might have seen so many people coming to interview without even knowing this. That is the reason they made this as a question, right? That means because they know that people come without basics of JavaScript as a React developer, right? So interviewer might have seen such people hundreds in number. That means not even having basic knowledge of JavaScript and he learned React and came, right? Then how he will fit as a React developer? That's the reason they made this as an interview question. Online, this is trending. Many people ask, without JavaScript, will React work? How it will work? That's a very common sense. With JavaScript based, any technology will not work without JavaScript enabled. So how do you check JavaScript enabled in his browser or not? By using no script. We put no script in HTML. You know, this is a HTML tag which verifies whether JavaScript is enabled or not. So if JavaScript is not enabled, we can put some message. What is it? Please enable JavaScript on your browser. This message will come if JavaScript is not enabled. Because if JavaScript is not enabled, you cannot use React or any JavaScript library, right? That's not possible. So here I will keep the title as home, and here I will keep the title as what? Index. Now what happens here is generally I will start with this page because currently server is working. What you have to do, click on go live. You see at the bottom, you will see go live. Go live means start, or you can simply right click on index and you can select open with live server. Open with live server, my index page starts here and it is going to display this. This is welcome to React 18. This page is not using React. React is in home page. Now when user clicks on home page, now in this page, I want to display some message from React. Using React, I want to display some message. So generally, if it is JavaScript or jQuery document, get element by ID, query selector, document inner HTML, so many DOM options are required here. How React can work here? Actually, to make React work, now you need 3 different libraries. This is very, very important. That means I will put the complete code one by one. Here I will show you the process. First thing is, this is index.html. I will copy this. In index.html, we don't have any logic. Then home.html. In home.html, we have just only this. This is there. This is just empty, right? Now the question, how this home can use React? So you can use React library from CDN. You know, everybody CDN. CDN means you don't need to download a library. You can go to their website from their servers. You can copy the link and you can use that library here. Without downloading a library, you can use library. That is CDN. You know, everybody, right? So I will show you first how to use CDN. After that, we will see how to download and use it, right? Now, you can use React library from CDN, but very important is, so React in HTML page, requires 3 libraries. 3 libraries. In a HTML page, React requires 3 libraries. One is React, another one is React DOM, another one is Babel. These 3 libraries are required. React DOM and Babel. These are the 3 libraries you need. So if you want to use React in any page, there must be 3 libraries. Actually, React, it is the core library for React. It is the core library for React. React DOM, it is the library to handle virtual DOM. Because React completely depends on virtual DOM. This is required for handling virtual DOM. And Babel is nothing but it is JavaScript compiler. It is JavaScript compiler used by React. So without this, it will not work at all. Because React is not using JavaScript just in time. Last session I showed you. JavaScript can be just in time or JavaScript can be ahead of time. AOT and JIT techniques, right? That means it uses a compiler. It is not interpreted. it is compiled. Then compiler used by React is Babel. Babel is the name of compiler. So you have to link these three files. Let's see. That means you need to search for these CDNs. Actually, the CDN for these two you will get in React website, official React website. Let's go to the React website, reactjs.org. In reactjs.org, let's go to docs. Yeah, in this docs, you see CDN links are there. Directly CDN links are available. You click on CDN links and you can see this is the CDN link. Actually, two libraries they will provide, you know that. What is those two libraries? Minified library, one for development, another for production. Which one you have to use? If you are a developer developing an application, use uncompressed library. If you are using for production, then use minified library. So which library you have to use? Development. You can see they given two libraries. One is for production, another for development. Which library we will copy? Development. So copy this development library. So here what you have to do is in this here, reactjs.org, in that docs, in that CDN links, CDN links will be there. CDN links for what? Development CDN links. You paste these CDN links. I will paste them here. In the home page, we will paste those two here. Okay. These two are fine. And very important is it is mandatory that when you link JavaScript files, they have order dependency. Order dependency means first which file to link? First you have to link React development.js. After that React DOM. If you misplace the order, it will not work, right? It should be in the same order. After that, you need one more. What is it? Babel. Babel is not present here. I will give these two scripts here. Another is Babel. Babel, you have to visit Babel website. Let's visit Babel official website. This is Babel official website. This is the compiler. This is Babel official website. In this website, you will find in this Babel website, this is compiler. Here you can go to documents. In the documents, you will see here, where is it? The packages, library, where is the library? Integration packages, usage guide. Yeah, this is the Babel CDN links we want. We want CDN links. We will search here, CDN. Actually, CDN is not directly there. Where it is, we have actually Babel at the net, Babel, and standalone library will be there. This is the library we need. You see, this is the library we need. This is the standalone library. So let's check the CDN. You see, this is standalone CDN link. This is the Babel standalone CDN. This is the library for, copy. This is the library required for, for compiler. That is the Babel standalone library. You need to get these three and keep them in the head section, right? Now these three libraries are ready. That means now you have installed this. Now let's go to index here. So here you have these three libraries ready. Here I will keep the Babel library also. Let me copy this. Now actually, once it is there, now we need to write our script. Now we will write here script. And what is the script? Here we need to configure the script, right? This is the script. I'm writing a script here. This script is actually need to be processed by Babel. So if it has to be processed by Babel, by default script is type JavaScript. By default script is type JavaScript, but it is not used by JavaScript interpreter. It should be used by compiler. So you have to make the script type as text/Babel. We have to script type as text/Babel. Otherwise, script type is text/JavaScript. JavaScript is for JavaScript interpreter which runs in browser. We need to tell that this script is not for interpreter. This is compiled by a Babel compiler. It is compulsory. Now, how we can handle? Actually, up to React 17 version, the way of taking control on virtual DOM is different. 18, they changed. From up to React 17, it is different. From React 18, it is different. From React 18, what you have to do is, I will show both versions. I will show both versions how they work. First, actually, how we do in general old React. What we do is, for example, we need to display some welcome message in this heading. We want to display some welcome message in that heading. Then we use React DOM dot render method will be there. React DOM have a render method. This render method, I told you render process, right? I told you the browser parsing technique. In the browser parsing technique, rendering is generating the output. Render, React DOM dot render. What to render? I want to render a message, welcome to React.js. I want to display welcome to React, or so hello React.js. So I will just put here hello, so React.js, something like this. Okay, now the point here is where to display this, where to render this. So React DOM will create a virtual DOM. And where to render this? We have to render this in this heading. Then comma, we have to put that heading. How to call that heading? You know, various document methods, get element by ID, get element by tag name, because it's not having any ID. Then how do you access document dot what? Query selector. What it is? Heading 1. In heading 1, it should render this. In heading 1, it should render. That means React DOM is going to render this message in the heading 1. In heading. So you can see that when I go here, I click on home, then it should display hello React.js. This message is coming in heading. This is old version. This is old version. Up to React 17, we do like this. It is still working fine because still our companies are still using React 17 version. But this is not recommended for latest. You see, I inspect. In inspect, you can see there is an error here. Go to console. In the console, it says that React DOM.render is no longer supported in React 18. It is no longer supported in React 18, but still it works because React have backward compatibility also. That means it uses old features and works with them. But this is not recommended anymore. That means anytime it may be deprecated. That means it will not work, right? That means already they have deprecated warning, but still it works, right? The point here is this is how we do React 17. Up to React 17, we do like this. Now from React 18 onwards, that means I will copy this code. This is the code for what? React 17. So up to React 17, up to React 17, this is what you have to do. Now from React 18 onwards, what we have to do is they recommend to create a constant root for virtual DOM. You saw Shadow DOM now. Last session I showed you Shadow DOM. Shadow DOM creates a root element. In that root element, it creates child. Virtual DOM also needs a root in that child elements to be rendered. So we have to create a root. So by using React DOM dot create root method. React DOM dot create root. That means I am using create root. Which element to be used as root? Heading should be used as root because in that I want to display everything. You can use anything. Suppose I am using a div. I will show traditional React. In traditional React, what they do? They put a div. For this div, they put an ID. They put an ID called root. Or you can put any ID you want. It doesn't matter. So now I want this to be used as root virtual DOM. Root for virtual DOM. Then what we will do? We will say document dot what? Get element by ID. What is it? Root. Okay. We created a root. Into that root, we have to render. That means what we have to do? Root dot render. Into that, what we have to render? So hello, welcome to React 18. Like this I given. Now I save this. This is the latest way of rendering. That is the latest way of rendering. You can see there is no warning now. There is no error. There is no error. That means this is working fine. This is latest. In React 18 onwards, this is there. That means now the point here is React working in every page? No, React is not working on every page. React is working only in home page. You can use React in any existing application. You can use in any specific area. It's not like you have to build a separate React application. Build a React application. That means now I click on home, it is working fine. It is showing that. So this is the basic process how your React works. Means background, lot of architecture concepts will be there. We are going to learn them. But you just created a simple React application? No, it is a simple web application. It is a simple web application. In this application, we are using React, not everywhere again. We are using React only in homepage. And very important, if in your browser, edge colon settings, in your edge, in any browser, in your settings, you open JavaScript and you see JavaScript settings. I will disable JavaScript. JavaScript is blocked in my browser. When I block JavaScript in browser and you see I click on home, index is working fine because it doesn't have any JavaScript. But when I say home, it says please enable JavaScript on your browser. That is what NoScript is for. It verifies whether JavaScript enabled or not. I will allow JavaScript in my browser now. Let's go to settings, enable JavaScript. Then once refresh, now it is fine. It has to get that and display. Otherwise, it will display what is defined in that NoScript element. That's how actually it works. And this is the basic process. So you learned how to use React in an existing web application in a specific page using CDN. Now we will see another technique without CDN, how to download the libraries and use them, because CDN means every time you need to connect with their server. You can download React libraries and you can use them. How we can do that? That we will see in next session. Tomorrow we will do that. Okay, first you need to practice up to this. Try this. I will upload this into Classroom, Google Classroom. You taken the Classroom code, right? Right. I will upload into the Google Classroom, right? You go there and check this. And tomorrow, first we will check all the doubts. If you have any problems, practically implementing that. If there is no doubt, then we will proceed to next concept. Okay. Tomorrow we'll continue then, right?